Hey guys, wow, how about the fight, huh? Did that go like anyone thought it was going to be? I know like a lot of people thought it was going to be a really good fight, and to be honest, I was really entertained. It was really exciting the whole time because Rigo's got that power in his left hand. But what a beating that was, you guys. Kind of like we talked about on the channel, the feinting and stuff. Just kind of breaking down the fight, how it went. I haven't rewatched it yet. As soon as it hits YouTube, in 5 minutes probably it'll be on there, and I'll be taking a look and watching it again. But the feinting, I talked about it in the build-up to the fight, watching the Jazza Dickens versus Guillermo Rigondeaux fight, and how easy it is to get Rigondeaux out of position, to get him to commit to a movement. And Rigondeaux, he showed that he didn't really have an answer to that. Lomachenko was able to feint him and close the distance with him easily enough, and get the real telltale sign of the fight was when Rigondeaux would duck down and put his weight on his right leg. And we talked about it in the build-up to the fight. In that fight, that was going to be a huge opportunity for Lomachenko to land offense, because he's going to be able to take much better positional advantages than his previous opponents like Jazza Dickens. Real quick, I'll show you guys that clip. But this is the clip that I'm talking about. And we talked about it in the build-up to this fight. Jazza Dickens shoots some jabs, right? Feints him, and then Rigondeaux ducks down, and that's the way he looks to get away from his opponent's shots, right? Nothing like inherently wrong with that, but because he reacts to those punches so easily, even the first feint that you don't even get to see on the clip, where you see Rigondeaux dip down, see, watch right here, from that first feint, right? He dips down, and it's really easy to get him out of position, and Lomachenko was able to take advantage of that all night long. He didn't have to really have to work very hard to get Rigondeaux out of position, and all the feints and all the probes and all that stuff. Just like I said, it was going to make all the counter punching from Rigondeaux useless, and it wound up being kind of a beatdown. I kind of thought that it was going to be a mismatch in that regard. I didn't think that Rigondeaux had a chance to win unless he was the aggressor, unless he was the one coming forward. And what's really interesting is if you watched in round one, I had like really high hopes for Rigondeaux because he was pressing the action. He was the one moving forward in round one, and I thought, that was actually a really close round. I wasn't scoring it. I was looking for like their strategies. I was trying to pick other things apart. I don't even know if anybody landed a punch. I think Rigondeaux landed a left hand that was kind of blocked. The announcer said it. I was watching other things, not just a punch, but when he was moving forward, Lomachenko wasn't really punching, right? And then as soon as Lomachenko started being the one to move forward, he was able to take away all the ability of Rigondeaux to control the distance. Remember, controlling the distance was a huge part of this with your lead hand. And in the first round, Rigondeaux was doing an excellent job of it, but at some point, I'll have to do some film study and figure it out exactly what it was. Maybe it was the counters. It was, but Lomachenko was able to get in past the lead hand dominance that Rigondeaux was trying to assert. And once he was inside, Rigondeaux didn't really have an answer for it. The holding, the really tight holding, his angles, they weren't working, and we got to see. When we talk about what real defense is, and I talked about it in the film studies leading up to Guillermo Rigondeaux, and also in the grading a fighter videos, that his defense is predicated mostly off of positional advantages and understanding positions, and I said it in some of my videos that Lomachenko is better at that stuff than Rigondeaux is. He knows not only how to do it going forward, or not only doing it going backwards, like defensively, moving away from shots, but he knows how to do it going forward. And that was going to give Rigondeaux a huge problem. And as we saw tonight, it was, to be honest, it was a pretty one-sided beatdown. That's kind of how I saw it going in my head for the most part, but I didn't expect the ending. Not that I didn't expect him to say that it was his hand. I fully expected it to be very much like the Walters fight, where he's like, oh God, I can't really do anything. I don't know what to do. And he gave up, and he said that it's his hand. Of course, we're going to see some reports in the media tomorrow that say Rigondeaux breaks hand on Lomachenko's hip or whatever, when he punched him low or whatever. Maybe that partially blocked left hand, I'll have to take a look at it. Maybe that partially blocked left hand hit Lomachenko on the top of the head, and it broke his hand. Who knows? To be honest, I don't think so. I think that Rigondeaux was just kind of getting smashed, and he never really found an opening for his left hand because of how active Lomachenko's guard is. And that's another thing we talked about leading up to this, is that because his head is not in one place, it was going to give Rigondeaux a lot of trouble landing that shot. We all know it's a deadly shot. He's great at throwing it. But that's one of the advantages of having an active guard, is that your opponent has to now predict when you're going to be open for shots like that. And Rigondeaux has never seen anybody fight like this before, as active, as mobile, and as good at not only setting up his own shots, but defending himself while he's doing it. He created a lot of patterns in there and was able to get on the inside of Rigondeaux's shots, and also neutralize Rigondeaux's ability to take, pivots, take his own positional advantages, and he wound up just kind of getting stuck in front of Lomachenko. And Lomachenko just, he had all the answers, Is there anything else to say, man? I mean, it's really unfortunate for Rigondeaux. They're going to say it was the age. They're going to say it was the weight, right? They're going to say, all these things. Floyd Mayweather fought Diego Corrales, and Diego Corrales outweighed him by 20 pounds or something, and he still smashed him. That weighs up 8 pounds, post weigh-in. They both weighed in under 130, right? They both weighed in under the weight limit. Lomachenko by half a pound. I can't remember how much Rigo's was. I think it might have been 2 pounds, But it's just not that big of a deal. The weight was not going to make that big of a difference, If Rigondeaux was a little bit bigger and still didn't land any punches, how is he supposed to beat Lomachenko? Anyway, it was a great fight. In my opinion, I'm going to enjoy rewatching it. Probably not too many times, but at least twice. I'll probably rewatch it twice. I'll be talking about, I'll be doing some breakdowns, and I'll be talking about some of the stuff. I'm going to try it in a new format. I found some guy who shows UFC footage, and UFC is ruthless. They are ruthless with their copyright claims. They will call you for if I might get my video taken down just for saying UFC. That's how crazy they are with their shit. I think they have 20 people paid to go around and look for that stuff and look for anyone who's using clips of their fights in their thing. And but he gets away with it, so I might try that. It'll be basically some still shots, right? Oh, I'll show a still shot here, and then I'll show a still shot of the next frame. Not the next frame, but maybe 5-10 frames ahead. The aftermath of the previous frame, and I'll kind of do it like that. And I'll show some, not highlights, but I'll show some, technique stuff on some of the highlights and talk about it and break it down and kind of talk about, how he got there. And you guys, the amazing thing about this, for all you guys that are boxing fans, that love to box, that want to fight, because both of these guys are southpaws, all of you guys can use all of the tactics during the course of this fight against your right-handed opposition if you're right-handed, because you guys share the same stance. So study this, watch what he did. Remember, all those people who are Rigondeaux fans, we all know Rigondeaux's a very good fighter, right? The next guy who fights Rigondeaux is going to be like, man, I'm going to hit him with that Lomachenko shit, and they're going to get fucked up. They're going to get the crap beat out of them, very likely. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, so understand that how valuable these skills and these very basic techniques, right? Like feinting and probing and having an active guard, how valuable they are even against a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. you know, never having your head in the same place, right? Constantly moving and not coming forward, not just coming forward on a straight line, right? Just using like a little bit of head movement, you know, roll, slip, you know, do some stuff before your opponent throws a punch, you know. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought about the fight. You know, do you guys, I guess the only controversy, the only thing really to talk about, you know, do you guys believe the hand injury? You know, Rigondeaux threw like 3 left hands the whole fight. You know, what round is he saying that he hurt it in? You know, because I don't think he threw any left hands in the round that it got hurt. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I got one right, guys. I got one right. Thanks, guys.